Kaepernick holds his workout, and then at the end of it, if you guys have already seen, you can see like the little clip of him saying that, I've been ready for 3 years. I've been denied for 3 years. The footage should show that I'm capable of playing football. The ball's in your court, and he kind of just walks away. So this started a whole tailspin of people having opinions because I guess the biggest one was Stephen A. Smith, who's the host of First Take. He pretty much he roasted Colin Kaepernick and said that basically his time in the NFL or any shot he had of getting back to the NFL was ruined because he decided to not go to this workout. He decided to hold another workout. He decided to basically go into business for himself. And he was saying that he doesn't want to play football anymore. It's pretty clear he just wants to be a martyr. So that's where we basically are today. So my whole thing with this situation is, I guess the first thing I kind of want to ask you is, from what you know of that situation and what you've seen, do you feel like, and I feel like you're a great person for this because you don't watch football, you don't care, but you know Colin Kaepernick and things like that, right? So do you feel like, from what you've seen, do you feel like, is this someone who seems like they actively want to gain employment with the NFL?
Yes, because he's been training constantly for 3 years, like just keep doing the same workouts, not getting lazy with it. I say yes. I can see how you could see it the other way, though, but you have to remember, like, they're pretty much, like, stacking the deck against him.
Right.
They're basically like, here's your chance, but here's all the obstacles you have to go through that normally other people don't have to go through, but you're going to have to go through it.
Right.
If you want this bullshit, like if you want this job that you supposedly want, you know.
Right.
Basically, the NFL set up to be like, hey, we gave him a chance. Hey, we did it. Hey, we like all this complaining and from everyone out, like out there, and like from him and from all his fans and shit. We gave him the chance.
Right.
But it's just like, you're not giving him the standard shit that everyone else gets.
Right.
Because I remember reading, like, when it first came out, it was like, it was set on a date where it usually is not set on.
Yeah, the workout was a Saturday, and most official NFL workouts are done on a Tuesday because GMs and scouts are available on Tuesdays. So if someone's going to get signed, it would be on a Tuesday, not a Saturday.
Right. So first of all, like, that was like a weird ass thing that they were doing.
First red flag.
And then like this I didn't know about this waiver thing, but like second, like this non-standard waiver specifically for him,
right,
is fucking weird. And then just them not agreeing to shit. Like what like if you're so on the up and up, what does it matter if like he brings his own camera crew?
Right.
It's just basically like, hey, like I'm still protecting myself no matter what. I control my footage. And
this is from what has been reported and what's been reported out there. They were okay with him bringing his own camera crew because it also was somewhere in that waiver that he had to film a commercial with Nike. Nike has since denied that their camera crew was not out there.
Yeah, even though NFL reported that there was.
Right.
Yeah.
But however, we don't know if that meant that Cap was going to use his team to film the footage.
Some kind of just misunderstanding between them all.
Right. So, but the NFL did agree that his team could be out there to film. I don't know if they agreed for his team to release the footage. What they did agree to, or at least what they were compromising on, was they were saying that the NFL would send out the entire workout footage and not just the edited down version. They would send out two versions, the edited version and also the entire footage.
Yeah.
But Cap's people didn't believe that was going to be true.
No.
Right.
Of course. I mean, of course you didn't believe it, especially with all the bullshit they put him through.
Right.
And just like lies on top of lies about like why he was doing what he was doing.
Right.
So yeah, like what Stephen A. Smith said, it's just like, you just seem mad because he didn't just like hop to it.
Right.
You know, like, hey, they gave you this chance, fucking take it. It's just like, no, man. Like, if you got a bullshit deal,
don't take the deal.
Don't take the fucking deal. It doesn't matter how much you want it. Like, if it's a bad deal,
right,
it's a bad deal.
Right. I agree with a lot of what you said. I had this same conversation with in the barbershop Sunday, and it was a great conversation, which is why I wanted to have it on here. The thing that is hard about shit like this is I look at it from both perspectives, right? Because the NFL is pretty much saying like, hey, you already sued us once and we paid you out, right? We're giving you this chance. I'll do that. If people can't hear, like in quotations, chance to prove that you can play football. However, we have to protect ourselves because we can't allow you to sue us again, or try to say that if you don't get signed, it's our fault. Which to me, and I'm just being, I feel like anyone else would understand this. That's very reasonable. Because if you've already been sued, no corporation, company, self-respecting businessman is going to be like, okay, you already sued me once, so I'm going to let you do whatever you want to do, but the possibility that you could sue me again if you don't get your way. That's not good business. So that right there, I'll give the NFL that. I don't see an issue with saying, hey, you can't sue us if you don't get a job, right? Because you've already done it once. It would be different if they were like, hey, if he never sued them, and he was like, if that shit was there, I'd be like, don't sign that. That seems like some bullshit, whatever, right? But they have already sued and settled. So they're saying like, hey, we've already been through this song and dance once with you. We're going to give you a chance, but you can't do this again, right? At that point, I get the Kaepernick side of it being like, well, that's not standard. That's not standard to what usually goes on. This whole thing isn't standard because it's on shit it's on days that I didn't agree to. It's not the regular day. Also, a big thing that came up is they wanted to use their own receivers. So they wanted to give Kaepernick 4 receivers.
That's a little weird.
Which is very weird.
Yeah, because they could easily be paid off to be like, hey, don't catch the ball. Or,
because when it comes to football and shit like that, you have familiarity with your receivers.
Yeah.
So obviously, if you're throwing, like, there's footage of him throwing these bombs, like 60-yard bombs. If you have receivers who are slow, those can look like overthrows. Even though with your receivers, they would have caught that because they're quick.
Yep.
Things like that. And little shit, like you said, they also pay them to not catch the ball and everything. It's very weird, right? But that was another thing that was weird. So that I'll give to Cap. The shit, like optics wise, it looks weird. However, I don't think he did himself any favors at all with this shit because his whole stance has been, I just want to play football. And I've been wronged because I didn't do anything. I just highlighted an issue that's going on in society. I didn't do anything wrong. I didn't hurt anybody. I didn't beat my wife. I didn't rape anyone. I didn't kill anyone. I didn't do any drugs. But I can't play football, which is crazy. So he's proven that clearly they did conspire to keep him out the league, right? He's proven that. Why not prove it on an even bigger scale?
Yeah, like what was the point of not showing him to the Falcon Stadium?
Right, like, because I get it, because I do understand there is a lot for him to be like, if I agree to this shit, it might go wrong, and then or whatever. But I do get this the perspective too of like, okay, but you went to the other workout and you balled out. You couldn't do that there. Like,
yeah, there was really no reason, right? Because I couldn't find like a great reason
right.
why he changed to the high school and not the Falcon Stadium.
Like, right, like what was the reason of not showing up, choosing to do it an hour away, choosing to do all these things? Like, what was the reason behind it? Because, in my opinion, you could have proved your point even more if you would have went out there. And it's in like with the whole receivers thing, right? If his crew is still filming that footage, we gonna get that footage. And it's going to show, look, these balls are on target and these motherfuckers is missing them. He's slowing down and everything like that. So it's like, to me, it's you put the NFL in an even riskier position because it's like you can have a fucking PR shitstorm. If he puts out that footage, he's balling out. And you guys showed some other shit that looks totally different.
Yeah.
You prove your point even more, right?
It's a lot you can do with the power of editing. So.
Right. There's so much you can do, but also just in the simple fact that if you're trying to prove your point, you can prove it on an even bigger scale. And I felt like when no one's bringing up, it seems like both parties, the NFL and him, they didn't want to fuck with each other.
No.
They
It was a very reluctant, like, hey, you go shake his hand.
Right.
Like, I know you guys don't like, you shake his hand.
You shake his hand or whatever. And they didn't want to do it. It was very clear that they just didn't want to do it. So in my mind, which I feel like no one's really bringing up, the NFL didn't want to do it. Kaepernick didn't want to do it. Why did you agree and then do all this shit afterwards? That's the thing that everyone's like, and this is the thing with going back to the internet and everything like that. Everyone's making these grand points and grand gestures and being like, oh, I stand by Cap because blah, blah, blah. Fuck the issues. Fuck everything, right? We're talking about strictly football. And the thing that I want people to understand with what I'm saying right now is the issue of why he's not in the NFL had nothing to do with football. However, the reason we're talking about him right now is because he is talking about football. So now it's back to the sport. This shit has went from the mistreatment of black people by the police, economically, systemically, it needs to be highlighted, to Colin Kaepernick hasn't been able to play football. We got to be honest, he had a lot to do with that switching. Right or wrong. You know what I mean? Like, we got to be honest at this point. Like, he had a lot to do with that. Because, yeah, at first the highlight was, oh, yeah. At first he was like, oh, yeah, highlight what's going on. Fuck me. But now it's like, okay.
That is so funny.
Fuck me.
Hey, fuck me.
Fuck me. Just anybody? Highlight.
Any takers? Any takers?
Anyone, please.
Okay, police brutality.
Does that get you fuck me? But it's like,
does that get you hot? Does that get you wet?
Get you Randy, baby. But it's like, highlight these issues. Okay, we highlighted them. Cool. Now that it's been 3 years, now, hey guys, I'm not playing football still. I'm right here.
Right. So he took the focus away from what it originally was, which was police brutality, all that stuff.
Now to him playing.
Be like me.
I
can't play.
But no one's bringing that up.